So welcome back to 75 Awesome Toolbox, where we're going to build your Basecamp. Now, this is one of the most exciting parts of the course because this is where we start to actually connect what you want to do to the mindset and systems and tactics and techniques and put it all together. So we're going to go over the list from the last chapter on how to create SMART goals. And so that starts by clearly defining your goal, which means being specific, S, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So we already know this, so I'm going to breeze through it pretty quickly. So create a plan. So you're going to figure out how you want to get from point A to point B. And usually that means buying a course of some sort or reading a book or vaguely knowing how to do it, and then just using this system to organize and set up your ideas for success, or as well as we have various different methods for organic marketing and, if you're trying to build a business or do paid ads or, social media management and like have a video campaign or marketing cycles or whatever the hell the case you want to do. But anyway, create your plan, break down into small manageable steps and then create a plan to achieve each step. Prioritize, so figure out what's most important. Take action, actually do the stuff that you say you're going to do. Track your progress so you know what you're doing and what's going on so you can make changes and so that you have a clear record so you don't kind of bullshit yourself and be like, oh yeah, I'm working. But really when you go back and look, it's like meaningless activities or stuff that didn't really move the needle. So which happens to everybody. And the reason why it's, a lot of high performers or pretty much every high performer I've ever heard of recommends tracking what you're doing is because that's how you maintain a firm connection to reality and what's going on so you can improve your results on a regular basis. So track your progress. Stay motivated, which hopefully this course will largely help you do, focusing on, the why behind it all and the interconnection of the value of your thoughts and dreams and feelings and emotions, because it's really a fundamental human fuel. So without the motivation, none of the machine doesn't run. It just sits there. So surround yourself with support, which is great for fine-tuning your ideas, getting feedback, encouraging people who believe that more is possible. And pretty soon that mindset will sink in to you as well. So also another good reason to be in this program and, to get into masterminds or to hire a coach is because they can go a long way to fine-tuning your mindset. That'll maintain your motivation and help you implement in a much quicker way. So one of the benefits of coaching as a professional coach is that you end up doing the things that you wanted to do significantly faster and with a lot more energy. So instead of like 2 months or like instead of 6 months or a year, it takes you 2 months or 3 months. And if you end up actually, if it's a money-making project, if you factor in the opportunity cost of 6 months to a year and you end up making $10,000, $20,000 a month, pretty soon you're looking at like lost opportunity of like $100,000, especially if you're at all successful. And even if you're only moderately successful, you end up losing $50,000 by being distracted or demotivated or letting your psychological stuff get to you. So surrounding yourself with a good support group is so important. So find a really good friend who's uplifting, hire a coach, go on to Reddit and find a motivation group and find a buddy. But make sure they're aligned in the similar direction you're going so you have stuff to talk about with them. Masterminds are amazing because then it's a bunch of business people who all paid to be there and all working on interesting projects. So not only can you meet fun people to talk to, but then a lot of times random business ventures fall out from the people you meet in the mastermind. So like you get a good course and you get to hang out with the coach, which is fabulous. But a lot of the time, the most value I've gotten out of a mastermind was just the people I got to hang out with. So, like some really fabulous people along the way. So learn from setbacks. So don't be risk averse, unless they're really serious risks. don't be afraid of failure, because when you fail, it tells you exactly what you need to improve on, exactly what you need to add. It's basically the universe giving you the blueprints for how you need to be successful. So that's why in Silicon Valley and all those super successful companies, they have mottos like fail forward or fail faster, because they realize that failure is an inherent part of the process. And it's so important. It's actually a really good thing. So if you fail, change your attitude to be like, yes, I now know exactly what I need to do. And I am that much closer to my inevitable perpetual success. So stay flexible by be open to adjusting your plan as needed, and be flexible in your approach. So if you will give an example in a second, somebody wanted to go on a vacation, and in order to do that, they needed about $1,000. Well, if they think they need to get the $1,000 one way, they could, sideline their progress when there was 20 other ways that they passed that they could have easily made that money. So, stay focused and keep your goal in sight, but don't miss opportunities. So it's a really fine balance to being flexible and staying committed. So don't give up, and you'll eventually get there, especially with these systems where you've streamlined your thoughts and your daily habits. Fuel your passion. And that's what it's all about, having that energy that really pushes you towards your dreams. So get excited, because that excitement is the human energy that turns ideas into results. So you got to have that if you want to achieve. And then don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and go do that, because what the world needs is people who've come alive. And that's a Howard Thurman quote. What does building your base camp mean? So you're prioritizing and setting up the foundations for an easy life that protects your time, energy, and sanity. That in turn gives you the freedom, clarity, and peace of mind that will bolster everything you do. So don't get sidetracked by all of the tasks in this course. Like, information is not the answer. So it's not the specific tasks that you do, it's the methodology that you implement for continual improvement in your life. So once you learn to adjust and refine, once you learn to make these mindset shifts that can happen right now while you're listening to good ideas, once you really go, oh, that was a good idea, I'm really going to do that. And then when that situation comes up, you go, oh, this is that situation, it's time to do that thing. Then you've implemented a system that will continue to compound results for the rest of your life. So if you have a task list of 10 things, I want to reiterate that it's not those 10 things that are important. It's the methodology that allows you to consistently implement good ideas into your life. So create that base camp that allows you to have the time, energy, and sanity, and that you can develop the freedom, clarity, and peace of mind that will just echo out throughout your entire life. Once you have room to think, space not to be interrupted, and freedom to move in the direction you want to go, then you begin to use all of that energy to build what inspires you the most. So ask yourself, what's the most important task for my most important goal? That should be the main question that you ask yourself every day. Then play with and push that project. I say play with because we don't want to lose sight of the real goal, which is not just to be successful or hit the target, but also to live a powerfully inspired life doing what we love. So don't lose sight of your goals for your goals. The goal isn't just to be somewhere. The goal is to have a satisfying, interesting life doing what you love, or at least that's generally speaking what I think the goal should be. But, you decide those, but make sure you don't forget what your most important goals are. So any good adventure starts with a question, right? So let's ask some questions. What is the most exciting, interesting, fun, worthwhile, inspiring thing that absolutely lights you up? What is your next big move? If you knew you could do anything and you'd eventually make it and it'd be worth it, what would be the next thing that you'd set out to do? What is it in your core that really you want to be living? So there is a way. And in this infinite world of possibilities, there is a way. And if you look, you'll be able to find it. So a lot of times we let our psychological programming and bullshit get in the way of creating goals that we could otherwise achieve. So start by freeing yourself from that and asking, if you knew you could do anything and you'd eventually make it and it'd be worth it, what would be the next thing you do? Because there is a way to do that. So, and it starts by wanting to do that and setting your mind to doing that. And then you figure out the way from there. And there is a way, guaranteed. So you just got to get resourceful and creative. So where it all begins, start by establishing big, meaningful, interesting targets. So I'm going to use the coaching session I just had in the middle of writing this and filming this. So the person, they wanted to do some traveling and go skydiving. So that's specific and time bound. They set a period of time, like sometime less than 6 months for your first goal. And they also wanted to start their own coaching business from scratch. So that's the example we'll use throughout this, because there's a couple of good examples there as far as personal goals and connecting it to something meaningful and fun, and then also establishing a business and a way to create resources and going through the process that is. But so we're going to begin by cultivating, stacking, and aligning our goals and intrinsic drivers so we can know what to do and be excited to do it. I'm going to say that one more time. We're going to begin by cultivating, stacking, and aligning our goals and intrinsic drivers so we can know what to do and be excited to do it. Don't add complexity to your foundations. They need to be simple and solid. So if you're doing anything, it's very tempting to have 50 different bells and whistles that you want, or 30 different steps and all of the cool things that you've ever seen stacked onto the start of a project. But that'll weigh the project down, and that'll weigh down your foundations, and that could be a very easy way to crumble a project and waste all your energy. So keep your foundations elegant, simple, streamlined, and powerful. We're going to start by making the goal SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So here are the questions that I use in my 75 Awesome SMART framework, which are the coaching questions that I found myself asking a lot. So these have kind of been developed throughout the coaching sessions that I've had. So what are the obstacles? Start by identifying what's been holding you back from your next big move or next important step. Is it money, time, commitments? I guess I should probably write confidence or whatever the case may be in there. What's an exciting, interesting, and reasonable amount of time that you could likely get this done? So what's an exciting time frame? Start by picking it. So on the coaching calls, I'll do these and I'll often write them down for them and send them a copy. But the important thing on this is to stare at them until they do it. What's an exciting, interesting, reasonable amount of time that you could likely get that goal done? What is it really? I know I'm a video, but pretend like this was a voice call and I was waiting for you to pick something, and then write it down, and then pick a time frame. That's what it takes to make the switch between thinking good ideas and implementing good ideas. Another reason why a coach is important. So because I have coaches and I know all this stuff. So Um, What's exciting, interesting, and reasonable amount of time that you could likely get this done? Really write that down. Pretty please, write it down. So, uh, pick something exciting. It'd take you 2 months, take you 3 months, take you 6 months. What's exciting, but still comfortable. If it, don't get too ridiculous and overwhelm yourself. So a nice, solid goal. And then how much would it cost? And what resources would you need to gather? For the person I was just talking to, they could go on this dream vacation that would really inspire them and connect them to their goals. And it would only cost about $1,000, which is not that hard of a target for a new coaching business. So they could start the business they wanted in line with also going and getting to celebrate by jumping out of a plane, because that's what some people do. I've done it. It's fun. And then go on a vacation at the same time. So it ties everything into this nice, really motivational picture that you can feel. So think about that dream. And I'm not going to go through all of these with you, but go through all of these and write them down. So, how much would it cost? What are the resources you need? And then how many hours a week do you want to spend getting to these goals? You need minimum 4 to 10. And most studies show that you can publish a book in like 90 days at about 10 hours a week. So that's about your ballpark for any big project, regardless of what you're doing. 75 days is why I created it, because I can do it a little faster and a little bit more significantly. But you're going to need about 60 to 90 days for most significant, interesting goals. You can do them faster, but there you go. 4 to 10 hours a week minimum. So you want at least one 2 to 4 hour standardized work session a week where you hammer out the details and really dive into your goals, which usually means going through a project on, or like a course that you bought on organic marketing and setting up your Facebook, or if it's a video thing, installing the software and creating your first video, or whatever that is. You hammer out the specifics of whatever it is you want to do. If it's weight loss, you would do meal prep for 2 to 4 hours, or, go online and buy interesting types of food that are easy and low calorie and healthy. That way you have you would set up a snack cupboard that would keep your eating habits in check. Or you'd go through your house and you'd clean up anything that might be tempting and put it in a box and stick it in the closet and put something heavy on it so it's difficult to get at, or just throw it all away. Whatever the case may be, you need at least one deep work session, which is about 90 minutes, but 2 to 4 hours is much better. And the research is showing that 2 to 4 hours is what you want. Once a week minimum. So if you can do two is better. If you can do 3, that's really ideal. So that's what you want to shoot for, even if you're busy. So if you're super busy, or you have kids and a family and work and all that other tons stuff, then see if you can get in 2 and then work your way up to 3. Every day is what I do. Every single day, I start with a 20-minute session and then a 20-minute state building session where I'm listening to music or running or reading inspiring things. And then I do at least 2 to 4 hours of deep work before I check social media or do anything else. So I do it every single day, and it has changed my life. It has been infinitely more fun, and it has gotten me so much more done, because the more you do it, the more quickly you're able to get into that zone and work your way through it, which is the advanced part of this course when we get into building flow. Once you build these flow states, then you can be like energetic and getting a bunch of stuff done on a regular basis. You see how it all comes together. So important. Start with at least 1, hopefully 2. So what is the best day for you to create, sustain, protect, and then utilize a solid chunk of free time? Is it Tuesday? Is it Thursday? Write it down, like specifically. Like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then don't ever write down a day. And the brain needs that specificity and commitment and discernment in order to cue into your response. So, put a sticky note on your monitor that says, Tuesday, I live my dreams, or whatever the case may be. And then set an alarm on your phone, which is the next part on this, which I'll get to in a second. So let me just read the thing. All right, let's see. Can you find at least 1 or 2 days where you have 2+ hours to dedicate to living your dreams and hitting your goals? Yes, absolutely you can. 2 is what you should shoot for. What days? Name them. Pick a time and a starting event. So Tuesday when you wake up, Saturday after you get back from the gym. Great ways, because the starting event is Tuesday, I'm awake. That's the starting event. And then Saturday, it's I got back from the gym, or something you're going to do consistently. Eat dinner would be another good one. Or you can just pick a time and then set an alarm like 7 p.m. on Sundays or Saturdays or whenever. So mark your intentions. So that's the important part that I was just talking about. And that's one of the keys of my system, because as a hypnotist and NLP practitioner, which stands for neuro-linguistic programming, I use anchor points as a lot of my things, which is rooted in classical conditioning, but basically how we anchor meaning into our lives. So when I put on my bracelet, I say, today I'm going to live deliberately, and I'm going to be the power and force of creation within my life. And I set that intention. And then I'll listen to Macklemore's 10,000 Hours that talks about getting out there and living your life, and putting in the time and the effort for the things you really want, and how living a life of art or poetry or whatever the case may be is never a life wasted. So it's a great song that I'll do a 20-minute run to, and that'll be part of my 20-minute state building. And then this is how the whole picture comes together. So I'm trying to paint that for you so you can see how to implement it in your own life. And then, I'll look at my monitor and I'll see my sticky note that says, done is better than perfect. And then I'll think about the course that I'm creating and how I need to just, it keeps me focused every day. But now I've had that note there for so long, it's time to change it, because I have incorporated that. Now I have a pretty solid workflow where I no longer get bogged down by the details of all of the things that I'm doing. And that is the refinement of high performance. I know I'm getting a little elaborate here, but write down your thing on a sticky note. And, it's say Tuesday, I will live deliberately, or Tuesday, I will live my dreams, or Tuesday, I will build a life, and have that sticky note on your monitor. So you see it every time you sit down. So when you sit down on Tuesday, you go, oh, it's Tuesday, I will build my life. You want to have those visual reminders in your immediate vicinity so that your whole life becomes about living your ideals. And that is building state. That is building everything. So mark your intentions well. When the alarm goes off, pat yourself on the back for caring enough to put the effort into building your dreams and setting yourself up to make consistent progress. So good job. The alarm goes off, plays an exciting song, pick something fun or funny or interesting. And there you go. You are well on your way to where you want to be. And now we've set our anchor points in our lives. We'll set the swing points. So don't forget, if you can sneak a third day in there, or take one of your 2-hour deep work sessions and make it a 4-hour deep work session, do that, because, you should redefine your relationship with work as, oh, this is awesome stuff I want to do. And then last but not least, remember to celebrate, because if you look at the down the rabbit hole thing from day one, celebration is an essential part of the habit loop. So what day are you going to reward yourself with a good meal, or relaxing with a movie, or going out and doing something fun? Make sure to put in your schedule at least one day or one chunk, like of 2 to 4 hours, of something really great. because that's an important part of scheduling as well. Fabulous. Now you should have a schedule set up with some good times that are convenient that you can consistently adhere to. Right? That's how that works. Good times. You thought of them. Are they good times? Yes. Are they convenient? Yes. Can you consistently adhere to that? Yes. Holy shit, this might work. Nailed it. All right. So you have time. You have time, by the way, somewhere you have time. It just doesn't feel like that sometimes when you're getting started. So if you want to add more fuel to your fire or would like some extra help sorting out your schedule and finding more free time, check out our adventure group and mastermind, where we will go into a lot more depth and detail on building your Basecamp. So I don't know if this deal is always going to be appropriate, but I'm going to put it in the video anyway, because that's just what we're doing right now. But so we have the 75 Awesome Challenge, but if you sign up for our mastermind right now, instead of just going for 75 days, we actually give you an entire year membership into the adventure group, because the class is being built right now. So it's kind of like our founders club thing. So there's so much depth to get into as far as motivation and habit design and refinement. And that depth is so rich and rewarding that, it's what I've dedicated my life to. But there's just so much content. And at each step, you learn this subtle nuance that really does open a huge door. So if you sign up now, our deal is get the entire rest of the year free. So pretty amazing deal. And we got a bunch of other offers in there as well. So feel free to schedule a call, which the link will be in the description. And then you can hear more about what we're doing. Your high performance audit, I think we're calling it, or high performance strategy session. Another good thing we could call it. But anyway. Next, we're going to do the same thing with your goals so you can have clear, meaningful steps connected to enough free time and power to get it done. So you create the infrastructure of implementing ideas and connecting to the meaning in your life, which we've hopefully done in this course. And then you connect that to a clear plan of action where you know what to do and have a reasonable assurance that those steps make sense and will likely work. And then you have this motivation picture that'll move you into clear steps with free time and power to execute on your dreams. So if you're excited, let's get to it on the next lesson.